Welcome to the Art Lab in a Box, everybody. It is Sam, and I'm really excited about today's project. We are going to be making a geode watercolor painting with gold glitter, and it's going to be so beautiful. I'm really excited. So go ahead, open your box, and let's see what we need inside. To make our geode painting, we are going to need a few things. We're going to need both of our paint brushes that came in our box, a medium and a thin, our glitter, a cup of paint water for your brushes, to rinse your brushes, some gold paint, and once again, we're going to need our different food colorings. We're actually going to paint with these. And then to water down our food coloring, I just have this little bottle of water. It's the same thing, but this is just easier to pour because it's in this container. And I just need enough water so that I can put some in like 4 little bowls or 4 little cups. We're going to water down our colors just a little bit. And yeah, and that's what you need. So go ahead, press pause, get everything you need from your box, including your watercolor paper, and make sure you have like 4 little bowls or 4 cups, for whatever you have. They could be big or small, but we are going to be putting our paint into them. You could even use a paint palette if you want, but go ahead and get that and we can get started. All right, the first thing that I want to do is I want to make some of my paints. Like I was saying before, I'm just going to add a little bit of water, a tablespoon actually. So if you do want to measure because you're using like a bigger bowl, you just need 1 tablespoon of water in each one of your bowls. And then we're going to add some drops of color into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add 10 reds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm gonna do that to my other colors as well. So go ahead, press pause, and mix your food coloring with 1 tablespoon of water and then 10 drops of color. Okay, and then go ahead, press play when you're ready with your paints. Okay, I am gonna start by using my thin brush, and I'm gonna start by using my blue, because I'm gonna do blue on the outside, but you can do whatever color you want. I'm gonna stir it around a bit. And I'm just using my thin brush because I wanna start by getting the outline of the outside of the geode that I'm gonna paint. So I'm gonna paint 2 different geodes on mine. So I'm gonna make a bluish teal one over here, and then I wanna make like a purplish orange one over here, but let's do one thing at a time. So if you've never seen a geode before, it's kind of like these cool rocks. They can be like any shape really, because all rocks are mostly imperfect. Sometimes they're round, sometimes they're kind of oval shape. I like to make 2 imperfect kind of oval shapes. So I'm going to rinse my brush off, and I'm going to do a blue, and then I'm going to do a red one over here, just nice and thin. If it's not perfect, it really doesn't matter, I promise. The more imperfect excuse me, the more imperfect, the more realistic it looks to me. I'm just going to draw a base around like that. So you should have 2 kind of wonky circle shapes, oval shapes on your page. Okay, go ahead, press pause, and add yours. Okay, now that I have both of my shapes here, I'm gonna continue to do rings inside of the geodes until the whole thing is colored in. So I'm gonna go back in with my blue. You could go in with whatever color you want. And I'm just gonna kind of keep dipping it back in. I'm gonna go around in a shape like that. I'm gonna rinse. I'm gonna go over to my green. I'm gonna add a bit of green around like this. Wow, I love the way that looks when the colors are blending. And you can have the 2 colors touch. If the paints mix, that's a good thing. We want them to kind of blend in to make it extra colorful. And add more green. You can make it as thick or as thin as you like. So I did 2 rings here. Now I'm going to go in Add another ring of blue. Always being an imperfect kind of shape. If it blends in a bit, that's okay, that's good. Go. And maybe I'm gonna add like some yellow to the middle. Go in with my bigger brush. Add some to the middle like that. All the way until I reach the outside. I started in the middle with the yellow because I didn't want the yellow to turn green right away by touching the edge, just at the end. There we go. There we have one. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the others. You can do yours whatever colors you want. You can do it all blue, you can do them all green, you can do it all red, however you like. You could even do 3 if you want. I'm going to show you how to do 2. So I'm going to do my other one similar to this one. I'm going to do some red and some blue and maybe some green. We'll see. Probably a rainbow. So go ahead, press pause, and paint your geodes however you like. You can copy mine if you like, but if it really doesn't matter what it looks like. So make sure you're being creative and using your own style. Okay? Go ahead and press pause when you're ready. Okay, I have finished my 2 geode shapes. They're looking really awesome. And now I'm just gonna wait for this to dry for a few minutes before I go ahead with the next step, but we're still gonna use more paints. So while we're waiting for this to dry, we are gonna add 10 more drops of each color into our little paints. We wanna do this because we wanna make a bit of a darker color to add more rings with our smaller brush. To add some definition, some contrast, I'm going to show you. And look how much I still have left. So much. There we go. So go ahead, press pause, add more color to your paints here, and come back when your painting is fully dry. You can put it outside if you want it to dry faster, or you can even use a blow dryer if you want, but it might move the paint if you do that. The best thing is to be patient, and then we can continue on with the next step when you're ready. Now that we have our base layer for our geodes and we've added more color to our food colorings, we're gonna go in again with our thin brush and we're gonna paint the outside with the darker color to create more definition. And once again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Geodes are not perfect, and neither is art. Just gonna trace around the edge like that. And then I'm gonna add a few more rings inside like this. Kind of like the rings on a tree trunk if you cut a tree open. And I'm gonna do this a few times going around. And I'm gonna keep dipping my brush back in the paint when it gets dry. And if I'm gonna switch colors, I'm gonna rinse my brush and add it again. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing to the other side using my thin brush. I'm gonna add one thin layer going around the edge. I'm pretty good with keeping it on the edge of my geode because I've done this so many times. You might go off a little bit like that, and that's okay. It's still gonna look really cool. So go ahead, press pause, and start adding some rings to your geodes with the darker colors, any color you want to use. Once you have finished doing all your rings, once again, we have to wait until it fully dries before we do the next step. For the next step, we are going to be using our gold paint and our thin brush. So go ahead, get those ready, and when your painting is dry, press play. Now that your painting is all dry, we're gonna use our gold paint. And I'm just gonna squirt it around the edges, slowly squeezing it. I'm gonna go all the way around. Once again, don't worry if it's perfect. Just like that. And then I'm gonna go around this one. Like that. And if you run out of paint, just use your paintbrush and spread it around, okay? And then I'm gonna do a little bit in the middle here. Just a little circle like that. And then I'm gonna do one ring. Going around like that. Oh, some of mine's squirting out, but it's okay. I'll show you how it's not gonna matter. Spread it out like this. To get more paint to the front, you can just tap it down somewhere like that. And then when you squeeze it, it should come out like that. Okay, go ahead, press pause and add a gold layer around the outside, one in the middle, and one on the inside, okay? And press play when you're ready and get ready to use your gold glitter. Okay, now once you have this done, it's time to use glitter. So, you know, when we use glitter, we need to use a tray to put our artwork in so that we don't get glitter all over the place. So get a tray. If you don't have one, you can use a cookie sheet or something. If you don't have one, use the inside of your box that your things came in. That will work fine as a tray. Okay, so go ahead, put that in. And then you're gonna take the rest of your glitter, open it up, put your fingers in, get a pinch, and you're gonna sprinkle it all the way around your art until you cover most of the gold paint. Okay, so go ahead, press pause and cover your geode. You can even pour it like this, but just go slow to make sure you have enough onto your picture. And press play when you're ready. Okay, so mine is all covered. I'm gonna give it a little wiggle like this to spread the glitter around, like that. And then when I lift it up, I'm gonna tap it down like this to get all the extra glitter off. And there you go. Wow, how beautiful is that? Oh my goodness. Now we wait for it to dry. Will you check that out? I love it so much. It's very sparkly. It's really cool and it's really colorful. All of the things that I love. I wonder what yours looks like, how many you made, and I hope it's as cool as mine. I'm definitely gonna be hanging mine up or giving it to someone as a gift. I'm not sure yet. But thank you so much for joining me and send me some pictures if you have some. Bye!